You ever notice how in retirement folks talk about chasing peace, maybe a quiet lake house or some little patch of land far from the madness, like you can somehow outrun trouble if you just move far enough out into the pines? Yeah. Well, let me tell you a secret. Trouble's got a damn good GPS these days. My name's Max, and when I retired up to Lake Ethel, I wasn't looking for war hell. I'd spent half my adult life avoiding it. But sometimes war comes wrapped in vinyl siding and solar floodlights disguised as a neighborly improvement project. I'd been in the Navy's engineering corps most of my life, then spent another decade surveying property lines and settling squabbles up and down the Oregon coast. When I finally limped into retirement, all I wanted was a modest house, 3 acres of whisper quiet pine, and a view of water that didn't smell like diesel. I got my wish: a one-story cedar shack, old porch, even older stove, and more birds than people for miles. No frills, just mine. You know what I mean. I cleared a patch near the tree line, just thinking maybe someday I'd build a little workshop store, the outboard, maybe even hang a hammock and waste some summer days. Laid my utility markers, did it all by the book, then answered a favor for an old buddy quick job across the state line. 2 weeks gone, no cameras set up yet, thinking nothing could possibly happen out here in no man's land. That's on me, I should have known. So picture this. I turn onto my gravel drive and nearly slam into a brand new 2-car garage, big and gray and squatting like a bunker, right where I'd cleared the earth myself. Concrete pad, shiny doors, trimmed hedges, solar lights, the works. At first I'm so dumbfounded I half wonder if I built it in my sleep. But then I spot the fresh gravel path laid out like a runway leading straight back to the Pine Ridge Estates fancy HOA country. I get out, boots crunching, and there's a couple workers slapping decorative stones into the path like they're laying a red carpet for royalty. One of them, young tired, says, "Oh, we're building a garage for Mrs. Blakely, HOA president." I don't say much. Just smile, walk the boundary, and see every trace of my markers wiped clean. Now old me might have hollered or called the sheriff right then, but you don't last long in land disputes by losing your cool. I drove home, made coffee, laid out my deed and survey maps, and started making a list. First order of business, thank Karen. Yeah, the infamous president herself, for the free garage she just gifted me right on my land. That night I didn't sleep much, but it wasn't anger, just the gears turning. By morning I had a plan. I called the contractors Riverstone Builds, told them I was the real property owner and wanted to hire them immediately. They came back, saw my papers, didn't ask a single question. I paid them to fence the whole garage in with 12-foot steel panels, cameras, motion lights, and a keypad gate. I wasn't just securing a building, I was staking a claim nice and legal. Hung up 2 bold signs: private property, no trespassing, and built without permission. Now under new management. Yeah, maybe a little on the nose, but who cares? By sunset, that garage was a fortress. I filed an official land use dispute with the county, emailed everything to the Pine Ridge HOA, and called my old zoning buddy Pete to swing by for a little off-the-record inspection. He owed me a bottle of scotch anyway. Then just for fun, I set up a loudspeaker at the gate that played a polite message. If anybody tripped the sensor: "You are entering private property. Structure belongs to the landowner. No access without written permission." You should have seen the look on Karen's face the next morning. She rolled up in a pearl white Lexus, hopped out in full queen bee mode, and stormed straight to the gate. The camera caught everything. She stares at the keypad, hears my voice from the speaker, and recoils like she's been bit. Then, predictably, she starts yelling demands. I take the fence down, accuses me of stealing her building, threatens lawsuits, the whole circus. I don't rise to it. Just sip my coffee and hold up the county parcel map with my property line wrapped around her prize. When she threatens to call the cops, I offer to dial for her. That shuts her up for half a beat. Cops show up, local and state, because Karen makes enough noise for both. I give them my folder deed, survey photos, the whole works. Young deputy confirms the fence is legal. Garage is on my land, cameras are legit. Karen gets red-faced, sputters something about being the HOA president, and the officer tells her deadpan, "Ma'am, this is a civil matter. Maybe take it up in court." I could have laughed. She storms off, promising it's not over. You'd think that'd be the end, right? Not with folks like her. Next comes a county compliance inspector, clipboard tape measure, trying not to look too rattled before breakfast. He's there on an anonymous complaint spoiler. It's not that anonymous asking about my fencing and unpermitted structures. I point him right at the real problem. The garage nobody pulled a permit for, built by someone who doesn't own the land. I give him everything he needs for his report. Poor guy's pen stalls out mid-note, didn't expect to stumble into a land war with all the receipts in order. I start firing off official notices to every agency that'll listen. County land, use the assessor state, licensing the works. Meanwhile, Karen tries her luck at the county GIS office, has the audacity to submit a hand-drawn map claiming my lot is actually Pine Ridge Common Ground. My friend Trina at the office laughs so hard she chokes. We flag the submission for fraud, and I send in a thumb drive with every GPS log photo and notarized affidavit I've got. You don't mess with an old surveyor's paperwork. The real kicker comes 2 nights later. Motion sensors go off and I catch Karen's nephew on camera, trying to cut my lock in the dark. Bolt cutters and all. He's gone before I can get there, but I pull the footage, call the sheriff, and file the report. By noon, I know exactly who he is. Neighbor tipped me off. I meet my lawyer, Elizabeth Durant, real estate assassin, and we file suit for every penny, illegal construction, trespass, property damage, attempted record fraud, you name it. 215 grand, all in. Karen fires back with a counterclaim, calls me a thief, accuses me of humiliation, the works. It's a joke, and my lawyer mows it down in court. The judge, old sharp and not in the mood for nonsense, asks Karen to provide a single shred of documentation proving she could build on my land. Karen tries to blame a verbal agreement with the previous board president. The judge just says, "Stop. I've heard enough." Counterclaim dismissed before lunch. But the real show is the main trial. We bring in contractors, workers, even pull HOA minutes, showing Karen acted alone, no votes, no approvals. Trina testifies that Karen tried to falsify county records. That's a felony, by the way. And while the DA won't touch it, the judge eats it up. I take the stand, tell the whole story, say my piece about boundaries, physical, legal, moral. The courtroom is dead silent. Karen never even testifies. Her lawyer looks like he wants to crawl under the table. Verdict comes down hard. I get the garage. Karen pays damages, and the HOA is ordered to audit every project they've done for 5 years. The local paper runs the story, her name, not mine, in the headline, but the message is clear. At the next HOA meeting, residents turn on Karen for good. She's out her house, hits Zillow, and word is she skips town. Me. Suddenly I'm the local hero, though all I ever wanted was peace and my land back. Neighbors I never met wave when I drive by. One bakes me a pie. I get invited to the HOA's new elections picnic. I show up for laughs, tell folks they don't have to be afraid of their HOA. It's a tool, not a weapon. The new board promises reform. I put a shiny new sign above the garage, built by HOA, owned by me. Petty maybe. True, absolutely. So here's where you find me now, old man. Retired, sitting in a garage. I never wanted listening to. Jazz, the lake calm, the phone quiet, and the locks blinking red and blue just in case. The world moves on, the HOA rebuilds, and Karen's just a rumor drifting across the water. Peace at last, or as close as you get. And if you're wondering, would I do it all again? Damn right. Some boundaries are worth every inch of the fight. So what would you have done? Was I right to fight back, or should I have let it slide for the sake of community? Let me know in the comments below, because in this world, sometimes standing up for yourself means everyone else gets a little braver too.